Bing, 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 bing. Yeah, that's me. How's it going, guys? Token vaping. Um, so today's review is a little different. Um, it's kind of a little more, I don't want to say personal, but it's a little more me to you than it's not a juice review. Um, it's actually a review that I've been meaning to do for a little bit, and I have been kind of lacking on that, and that is entirely on me. So, to everybody involved with what I'm about to review, my deepest, sincerest apologies. I will stay better on top of that. Um, but the review I want to do, it's not on a device, it's not on a flavor or a juice company, but it's on something that has or can have just as big of an impact in vaping, if not more so in some instances. And that is on the magazine called Vapun, Vapun. If you guys vape at all, I know you guys have heard the name, you've seen the different magazines. This is issue number 11 for March and April. They're bi-monthly. It is probably, in my opinion, and I became a big fan of this a while back, but in my opinion, this is one of the better all-around vaping magazines. Now, Vape Magazine, I don't want to throw out names or anything else like that, but Vape Magazine is a great magazine. There are a few others. I don't know all of them, but there are a few others out there. They're all great for what they do. Just in my personal opinion, this one just happens to have it's better suited for a wider range. A lot of the other magazines are specifics towards certain groups of people more so than others, from what I can see, or sometimes I get the feeling from. This is a really good start for people who are just getting into the vaping community, who are just getting into the business, who are just learning about it in general, up to people who have been around for a while, who want to keep tabs on certain companies, keep up on certain people, things like that. It's a great read. It really, really is. And it's run by some phenomenal people. I haven't had the opportunity to meet any of them yet. They make as many of the conventions as they can, from what I can tell. I do follow them. And they do hit up a lot of expos and conventions and get their name out and talk to the public and talk to the community and things like that. You probably, I mean, if you do follow them, or you do, and you've had the pleasure and honor of meeting them, total jealous of you, much respect to you. But there are a bunch of faces, that people probably recognize or know. One of them being the CEO, designer, and founder of Vapun Magazine, and that is this beautiful lady right here, Erica Louise. That's R&D Smith, who's the vice president, and that is the awesome Katie Tidwell, or as you may know her as Katie Couture, on Instagram. Been following all of them for a while. She's the production assistant, writer, and editor, and there's a bunch of other great people involved with this group as well. Obviously, I don't want to go into, I'm not going to literally go into, every single page and read the entire magazine to you. However, I just basically wanted to give a quick rundown of, why I like it and some of the things that you can expect to find in it if you are interested in purchasing it, subscribing it. If you're a local shop and you want to provide, some just general reading material for customers, it's a great way to get names out there, get the magazine out there, get people involved more with knowledge of vaping and things like that. But I mean, you do have your advertisement pages and for different juice companies and things like that. Not trying to give super shout outs to anybody specific, but here's Katie Tidwell did an awesome interview with Grim Green and Homeboy OC, and just it's things like this, and it's like knowing about celebrities in the vaping world, but realizing that they're completely human, just like you and myself. It definitely changes the way that people take to them. They're not like the celebrities that act like they're impossible for you to meet because they have all the security and all these people around them, and you never have a chance to meet them. Or if you write to them and you get a response, is it really from them? This is pretty much one-to-one man to man, man to woman, woman to woman, however it's interviewed, however it's conducted, you know, and things like that. But it lets you see them as a human being, not as a famous person. And that makes it a lot, in my opinion, it makes it a lot cooler, because you're more willing to listen to them, you're more willing to take advice from them, you're more willing to trust them, so to speak, even if you've never met them. You know, I mean, I've never had the honor of meeting Grim Green, you know, but I know enough people who have talked to him, who know him, who have, you know, dealt with him, to know that if he says something specifically, especially from an opinion standpoint, or if he tells you why something isn't, you know, where it should be at, you're not taking it like, oh, he's just saying it because, you know, he's famous. You take it as, okay, you know, this is what he's saying, so I should definitely think about that and look into it. So it kind of changes the way you think about things, and a lot of that's because of the way that they conduct their interviews and their writings and stuff like that, to show you that there is a human side to the celebrity status of vaping and things like that, and they're not impossible people to meet. You know, if you go to expos, they do meet and greets all the time, not because they have to, it's because they want to. So moving on, you know, you do have different, now, here's my thing. I've had a lot of people ask me why I do these reviews. My number one reason is, obviously, I want to help people find, you know, different flavors that can work for them, help make vaping more enjoyable for them, help them avoid, you know, lesser quality juice lines, things like that. My ultimate goal, if I was to have one for doing reviews and things like that, I want to be like this guy right here, Amir Gambiner. I apologize if I mispronounced your last name. He does reviews for Vapun Magazine. I would love to do something like that, to where I know that, you know, it's seen by thousands and millions of people worldwide, and it's, you know, this is basically would be what I do on video, just in a page form, but something like that, or be a contributing reviewer for, you know, a magazine or a book style, or just anything like this that I know gets out there and reaches masses of vapors and helps them find things that they're looking for or wanting or needing. You know, they even have reviews from the staff members, you know, like editors' picks and staff picks and things like that, for showing what they like and what they vape, to show you that people actually vape what they say they do. You know, it's not we just promote this because we have a deal with them, or because they sent it to us and things like that. No, I vape it because I like it, and this is what I'm vaping. You know, so again, the human side to the vaping celebrity status, quote unquote, that, you know, a lot of people don't get to see or don't always experience, is really cool. You know, and then there are various articles that, you know, are meant to touch you, but not make you, not in a like a pity way, or what's the word? Not so that it's looking for attention or trying to get people to feel sorry for them, but it's to show you that this stuff is for real. You know, as vapors, we mean what we say when we're talking about the longevity of vaping, the quality of vaping, why we choose to do it, why we like it, why we think it's, you know, it's a better option. You know, and an article like this on a gentleman named Adam Webster, who was a systems engineer turned vapor, an article that Katie Well did with an interview with the gentleman, and it gives his whole story as to, you know, a little bit of his backstory, what he's about, what he was like, why he some hardships he went through, why he decided to turn to vaping, things like that, how it benefited him, if he's had any problems with it. But it's not a biased interview. It's not I'm going to write this and then cut out everything that makes this look bad, and I want this to only hype up. Now, give or take, I know people can argue that, you know, but realistically, whether it happens or not in the vaping world, I can't say. I don't know every single facet of vaping. But as far as things like this, you know, there's more truth to this and more honesty, good or bad, than you will find in a lot of celebrity, quote unquote, magazines and authenticated interviews and things like that. So, but that's me. That's just how I feel. So another thing that they like to do is on like a business corner type thing here. They take a company and they do a meet and greet style interview with them as well. On a different flavor here, they're doing a basic format as to a description of a new flavor that's on the market. And then again, like I said, you have your colorful, you know, advertisements for different flavors that are out and about. There's a modeling page here for Chicks with Wicks. Great support, advocacy support for vaping. Definitely out there as far as getting their faces and names. Erica Louise, the CEO, she did an article in here for Champs, the New Wild West in Vaping. This is a really cool article as well. I mean, but it's all... The one thing that I will say for sure that I like about this magazine is it's not hard to understand. There are sometimes people get into certain things and they'll read a magazine based on it, a book based on it, whatever, or for it, whether it's like science, news, politics, religion, anything. A lot of times what people write for that, they write from experience, from passion, from respect and all that, and that's awesome. The problem is a lot of times that they write it, they make it hard for the public to understand, especially if they don't fully understand or know a lot about it to begin with, and they're looking to get into it or learn about it. Nothing in these magazines are written to the level that the simple everyday vapor, the new vapor, the beginning vapor, the young vapor, old vapor, that they can't understand by reading it. That to me takes a lot. And if you've ever done writing for a school newspaper, if you've ever tried to write a book, if you've ever wrote poetry, if you've ever wrote just anything that you wanted other people to read and not have to always explain to them, you know how difficult that can be at times depending on what you're talking about. They definitely hit it on this because no matter what you read in here, you always feel like you're involved, that you know what's going on, you understand what's being written, and it's not meant to go over your head or that you get that feeling of, well, oh, I must not be a vapor because I don't understand what they're talking about. That's not what they're about. They are as much about advocacy and vaping rights and vaping support as the next person, if not more, it seems in some instances. They push and push and push and do everything they can to get, you know, vaping advocacy, vaping rights, vaping knowledge, vaping safety, vaping everything out there to the public so that they know what's going on, they understand, and it's really, really respectful of them on that level. They also do advertisements for Vape Expos, and as you can see here, this one is for the Foxwoods in May up in Connecticut. You know, and there's their name along with a bunch of other big names that are going to be there as well. So again, you know, they advertise, but they also try to interact with it as well to say, hey, we do this, but we're also a part of this. And again, that if you think about it, that's really cool and makes a lot of sense. Vape foodies, you know, food from different vape conventions, things like that. You know, why not? It's part of it, you know. But the other thing that I like about this, and I don't want to draw on too long, they do have some really big main articles, whether you kind of can take it as the political standpoint, but it needs to be done, honestly, because without vaping, or if you're going to be involved with vaping, you have to understand all aspects of vaping, whether it's you know, good, bad, ugly, the beauty of it, the nasty side of it, the political side of it. Every aspect of vaping needs to be known or understood if you're going to become involved in it. And here's actually another good thing that I forgot was in here and I wanted to show real fast. A lot of times in my reviews, people hear me talk about ISO labs and things like that, and that may be something that not many people understand or what they are. They take care of that because they actually do a 2-page article on what that means and what they are and why they are, why they do what they do and why they're used. That's really cool. Excuse me. But it's imperative nowadays, especially with everything that's going on the political side, the advocacy side, that if you're going to say that you're involved in vaping, that you're a part of vaping, it's not just doing this. I vape. That's not it. It's, you don't even really have to vape to be a supporter for vaping rights and advocacy. If you know somebody who does, if you're related to somebody who does, if you're with somebody who does, in any way, shape, or form. But if you're going to be a part of it, it's imperative that you know as much about it as you can. And that's where people like the amazing staff behind Vapun Magazine comes into play. they make it easier for you to learn different things like that. And that's what I was leading into, is this is one of the main reasons why I'm a really big fan of this company and their magazine, is that they don't focus on one specific area too much. It's not just all advertisements. It's not just all devices. It's not just all politics. It's not just all reviews. It's not just all models. It's a few pages of this, few pages of this, few pages of this, few pages of this, rotate or different things like that, to where you don't get bogged down by one specific thing and then still have questions about other things. They try to be as much of a buffet for vaping everything as possible. And that's actually really cool, because human nature-wise, our brain only handles information in bursts. It's a lot easier for us to remember things in simple sentences, short sentences, than it is this whole paragraph thrown at us all at once, as I sit here and draw on in my video. But it's just everything that me, myself, as a you know, an amateur reviewer, as a vapor who's trying to get more involved with the advocacy side, and trying to get more people involved and understand there's more to vaping than literally just clouds. But it's imperative, if you're going to learn it, that you try to go to reputable sources, sources that have been tested and proven, sources that are backed by facts, things like that. And again, I'm not taking anything away from any other magazine that's out there. I don't know all of them. But I'm telling you, if you are interested, even if you don't get, like, you know, a year subscription or multiple issues, even if you just pick up one every so often just to know what's going on, just see what's going on, or say, hey, I heard so-and-so was supposed to be involved in this magazine, you know, let me pick up that issue. It's worth the money. It's worth the read. If nothing else, it's worth the knowledge. And that's what's most important, is the knowledge and understanding to vaping beyond what you see. And if nothing else, at least pick up one issue and go through it. And if nothing about that issue interests you, at least you gave it a shot. It's worth it. It really is. With that said, Vapun Magazine, guys, thank you very much for the issue. I will, like I said, I will try to keep better up on doing these. But you have an amazing magazine. Hopefully one day, if I ever get big enough or known enough that I can get involved into something similar like that, I would be honored to do so, because of the magazine that you guys make. That's basically what I'm working towards. So with that, you can definitely check them out. They have their own website. They're on Instagram, Facebook. I believe they're on Twitter, Google Plus, Hangout. Pretty much anything that has to do with social media, I'm pretty sure that they're all tagged in. I will find out as many links as I can. I will put them in the comment box. I'll also put out any type of advocacy type specifics that, you know, are linked to them directly, so that they get the knowledge and respect for that as well, the acknowledgement. As always, guys, I'm Token Vaping. I'm here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest. Thank you so much for just sitting down and taking a moment and letting me just kind of ramble about this. Anything that I can do to help make your vaping experience that much more enjoyable, please just reach out to me, let me know. I will do as much as I can. If not, there are other resources that you can use. Sorry, really shameless plug there. But, you know, definitely reach out. I will do everything I can to help to the best of my power. Until then, no matter what, always try to remember, truly love yourself. Morning, noon, night, doesn't matter. Until next time, thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.